Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and today I'm going to be talking about the new Warhammer 40k Combat Patrols. My bad I haven't been posting recently. I've just been working on myself, getting my life together and stuff. Well, not like my life was terrible before. It was actually great before. I don't know. I'm studying, over the summer and stuff like that. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about this, and yeah, it's good to post. Hopefully we can get to 200 subscribers before the summer's over. And my bad if you hear Afro music in the background. What was it? It's good to listen to. Anyways, guys, Games Workshop released some new combat patrols, and there have been some mixed reactions. And honestly, I think all of them are good because I don't want to seem like a Games Workshop haters, but I think that there could be some improvements I'm going to talk about. So, first is the Iron Hands combat patrol, and the big problem with this is that there's two servo turrets. Okay, so basically the combat patrol, two servo turrets, 10 heavy space marines, and one tech marine. Honestly, I think that the 10 heavy space marines, or space marines in, Gravis armor, like, heavy intercessors, I think they're actually really good for the Iron Hands, strong, like, good base units, and you get 10 of them, what's not to love. But the problem is the servo turrets. I think that two servo turrets is kind of overkill, and it makes them too slow. And the thing is, there needs to be variety in a combat patrol. And even though I know there's 10, heavy intercessors, that still is like, it's a base unit. There shouldn't be two servo turrets. And I think that these servo turrets could have easily been filled in like with some type of like, even like a dreadnought or something, and it would have been like the same exact thing, and it probably would have been the same exact points. I don't know how much servo turrets cost, but honestly, I think that this is good, but I just don't get it because it's not like Iron Hands is like the Imperial Fist where they're like a big defensive faction. They're really like, I don't know. I don't play Iron Hands. I'm a Blood Angels player, but I don't think that they're really that much of a defensive faction that they need two servo turrets. And I think that a Dreadnought would have worked exactly the same. I think a big problem with this combat patrol is that if I'm playing it, I'm probably just going to split it into two groups because I want to get my money's worth out of the servo turrets, but they're just kind of like holding you down, because you want to get the points worth, but you can't really do anything. And they're kind of too slow. I don't know how servo turrets work, but I kind of looked over the data sheet and there wasn't anything special to it. Other than that, I think that the combat patrol has a really good center, and I think that it's honestly like really good. Out of 10, I'm probably going to give this combat patrol a 6 out of 10. I still think it's pretty good, but I don't know. I think that there's like, if you're Iron Hands player, I'm going to talk a little bit more on it, and I'm going to give you some recommendations on what to do. Okay, so on to the next one. We have the White Scars Combat Patrol. Now, this is a pretty good combat patrol. You have I forgot what its name was, but you have a vehicle, you have 3 bikes, you have the new, captain on the bike for the White Scars, and then you have 5 intercessors. Honestly, I think that this is a great combat patrol for White Scars. Although, if there were any problems I were to complain about, is that it kind of does the same thing as the last one, where you kind of split it into two groups. You won't get as much board control. You will be faster, but not as much board control, and they can probably focus on one, and then once one's gone, like, what's the other one gonna do? You know what I mean? And honestly, I think it's good. Some White Scars players, because I looked and they didn't really like it, but honestly, I think it's great. If I were to change anything, to be honest, I don't know, but I'd probably want some jump intercessors because that's good for building like a base for White Scars, because I know they like to go really fast. So some intercessors with jump packs, Space Marines with jump packs. I don't know their names because I don't have them, but other than that, I think that this is really good. I know that they're a very vehicle, heavy leaning faction. And honestly, this is a good buy if you're a White Scars player. I'm not going to say any of these are a bad buy, but I'm just saying if you want to build an army, I'm not some army building guru, but I think that it still is pretty good. The models are fun to play with and all that stuff. But yeah, I feel like the only problem is that there's not enough like base units, Like if there were like 10 intercessors, then I would get it, and it would be fine, because then you can split them up to groups of 2, 5 right in the thing, and then you could have the Outriders go. But honestly, I kind of feel like this is limited because you have to like split it up into groups and stuff. And I'm just repeating the same stuff, but yeah, that's it. All right, and now let's go on to the next one. Alright, for the next one, we have the Salamanders Combat Patrol. And to be honest, I think that this is a really good combat patrol for Salamanders players. And also, I could see White Scars players, using this combat patrol. So you have the ATV, you have the 5 Space Marines with Flamers, you have the 10 Intercessors, and then you have some, guys in Gravis armor with like Flamers and stuff. Then you have the Captain. To be honest, this is a great purchase as a Salamanders player. And I think that if you're a White Scars player, you should also maybe be interested in getting this because it still has like the speed and finesse. I don't even know what that I don't even know if I'm using that right, but it still has like the cool thing, and it's not gonna struggle with like getting around the board. You know what I mean? Because even if you can get around the board, you still want to have some sort of control. So, and it's a Space Marine army, so of course it's gonna have stuff down. And, of course, it's going to be strong against fighting Tyranids. But now you have, more people. And, yeah, honestly, I don't even know how they balance combat patrols. This one has 10 intercessors. Last one had 5. This one has, all this stuff. But, to be honest, I'm going to see. I rate this one a 9 out of 10. I rate this one 9 out of 10. Now, I'm going to be honest. I really like this one. I'll just rate it a 10 out of 10 if you're a Salamanders player, 9 out of 10 if you're a White Scars or something else player just wanting to get this one, because then you still have to convert the Salamanders captain. But honestly, I think that this one's really good. And yeah. And next, we have the Imperial Fist Combat Patrol. I don't even have to talk. I think it's a 10 out of 10. If you're an Imperial Fist player, I'd honestly take this as an absolute win. And I'd even maybe think of picking up the Iron Hands Combat Patrol, because I know Imperial Fist players. My bad, I have Invisalign and stuff, so I kind of have a little slur sometimes. But I know that they like to use servo turrets and all that stuff. I think that this Combat Patrol is amazing. You won't struggle with board control, and it's strong and it's fast. You have 3 different layers of armor. I think it's absolutely amazing. You're not going to struggle with anything. Although, even I'm seeing in combat patrol games, if you're going up against a combat patrol that has something strong, it might have trouble punching up. But to be honest, in combat patrol games, there's not really any big models that you're going to have to worry about that's too strong. And I think that it's actually a really good combat patrol. It's around 400 points, I think. And it's a really good start to an army. It has all the different armor types. Honestly, you can get this and you can get a dreadnought and maybe a tank, and you would literally have an 1,000-point army. And it would be $400. That's still insanely expensive, but it's Warhammer. So honestly, if you got the money, that's what I would do. But I think that it's really good. And I think that the models look really cool, and I'm rating it a 10 out of 10 for everything just because of how much of uniqueness it has. It has no models specifically to Imperial Fist, which some might see as a downside. But in overall, if you're a Space Marines player, you're going to want to think about picking this one up because this is a really cool thing. It's really cool faction. It's really cool models. And it's actually it's just awesome. But yeah, honestly, because I don't know where to even judge this combat patrol. I'm trying to be picky. I don't want to seem I don't know, I'm just giving it praise. But to be honest, I think this is just really good. Okay, and now with that, we're ending out the video. Thank you guys for watching this video to the end. Think about subscribing and stuff like that. I really want to get to 200 subscribers. That'd be really cool. And yeah, just thank you guys for everything. And honestly, I think all these factions are cool, and I think that all these combat patrols were amazing. But I just wish that they I don't know. I just wish that they made it more area for some factions, because I know there's some stuff, or I don't know. I'm just yapping. Anyways, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.